Oh, man. What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Week 10. Week 10 has been quite the interesting week. We will be heading to New England to face off against the Patriots. Now, this is going to be a weird game for the most part because this will be the first time we face off against the Patriots without number 12 being in the backfield. He's too busy in the NFC South getting beaten up by Breeze and the Saints, so that's all fun. But yeah, instead, we're going to be dealing with Cam Newton and that offense, which surprisingly is just hasn't been great. But when they've needed to come together for the most part, they've done relatively well. It's been an up and down season for the Patriots. They're still trying to figure themselves out. There's not really any weapons on that offense, and Cam Newton's doing the best he can, but even at times, Cam has not looked great. So we'll see what happens on Sunday night, but this should be an interesting game, and honestly, this has to be the game where the Ravens offense gets it together. I don't want to scare you guys, but our final test for the playoffs have come. Next week, we're taking on the Titans. The week after, we're heading to Heinz Field to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. After that, for the most part, you've got Cleveland. But after that, the games you got to play, the Ravens are expected to win those. Those shouldn't be games where they should have any trouble unless they play down to their competition or don't play up to their standard. You know how it is. But yeah, our final test for the playoffs is the Titans and the Steelers. They've got to show up and win those games. Those are a huge test for our offense. If our offense is not where it needs to be by the time we play next week against the Titans, we could be in trouble. This is our final test because if the playoffs were to start today, we'd be going up against the Titans. And with the way the offense is looking, are we 100% sure they're good enough to take down the Titans? I'm not sure, but we'll have to find out. This has got to be the game, guys, where the offense gets it together. And in a week like this, where we've been hearing nothing but Greg Roman and this Ravens offense and the predictability of it, something's got to change. It's just been an explosion today with all these sports analyst shows that are talking about Lamar Jackson, talking about how predictable, well, not even how predictable, but defense is calling our plays. And now everyone's saying, oh, the Ravens offense is predictable, and they're showing visible evidence of this. Something we've known for quite some time, but they're showing visible evidence of this. So this got to be the week the offense gets it together. And I'm not 100% sure that will be the case because of what Greg Roman said in his press conference today. That really concerned me. But anyway, I'm wasting too much time here. Let's actually get in on what we need to do for this game. So, defensively, something we never have to worry about. What do we need to do? Well, for starters, our focus needs to be slowing down Cam Newton in that run game. Because just like Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton's a mobile quarterback, and he's willing to run the football. And it's a big part of what the Patriots do on offense, specifically because they don't have talent at receiver. I mean, Jacoby Myers has emerged over the last couple weeks, but other than him, there's no one else to throw the ball to. And since Julian Edelman is injured and might be out for the rest of the season, you really only got one target for Cam to throw to. So the defense's focus needs to be slowing down the run game and stopping Cam Newton from getting outside the pocket and taking off. That needs to be their main focus. Secondly, continue the streak of forcing turnovers. We have been so great. I think right now the record is 15 or 16 consecutive games with at least one turnover that our defense has forced. Fantastic. Fantastic by the defense. They need to continue to play at this level. Slow down Cam Newton. Force him to turn the ball over. Now, some good news is we get Humphrey back this week. So he will be playing on Sunday, and that's a positive. Or at least it's believed he will play on Sunday, which, I mean, at this point, yeah, he's going to play on Sunday. But yeah, we're going to get Humphrey back. Everyone's on our defense is pretty much good to go for the most part, except Calais Campbell. But that one is going to take some time. So we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, our defense should be set and ready to go up against the Patriots offense. And as long as they're able to slow down Cam Newton in the run game for the Patriots and force a turnover, our defense is going to be fine. This game's going to come down to our offense for the most part. Defense is going to do enough to slow down Cam Newton and the crew. But our offense has to take advantage of this game. This is the time this offense has to emerge. What we saw in the second half of that Colts game needs to be expanded on moving forward for the rest of this season. Whatever that was, whether it was them taking off the locks, opening up the playbook, and letting Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson, whatever they did in that second half, they need to do that moving forward. Game plan for the offense. Wow. Originally, I was going to come out here and give you the whole, well, we got to run the football and protect the ball and make sure we don't turn the ball over and try to attack them in the secondary with the play action game, which, I mean, we probably should still do that on Sunday night. But I feel since this is a game where we got to see what this offense is capable of and finally put the pieces together because your final test is coming up, I personally believe this is an opportunity for the Ravens to just open up the offense completely, give the keys to Lamar Jackson, and do with whatever he wants to do. Just do whatever Lamar wants to do. Whatever he feels comfortable doing, especially in the passing plays. Let Lamar take over. Let him take full control of this offense, give him the keys, open up the playbook, and let's see what we can come up with. This is the week to do it, man. This is the week to do it. We're still going to run the football. We're still going to try to get J.K. Dobbins involved. I don't know if Mark Ingram is going to play on Sunday night because he did practice on Wednesday, but he did not practice today. He missed practice today. So I do not know if he'll be ready to go Sunday night. We'll probably see when the report comes out. But if he is ready to go, they'll probably try and ease him in, and they'll probably give the majority of the carries to both Gus and J.K. But if he's not in, it's just going to be the Gus bus and J.K. Dobbins doing what he's got to do. So, in the run game, we already know, feed the beast that is J.K. Dobbins and feed the Gus bus. That's all we got to do with the running game. Passing game, I think it's up to Lamar Jackson with whatever he wants to do. Open up the playbook and let Lamar Jackson take control. That's what I want to see in this game. Let Lamar Jackson take control and do with whatever he feels comfortable doing. That's really what I'm hoping to see from this offense. Now, this defense for the Patriots it's relatively solid. Stephon Gilmore did not practice today. He's injured, I believe. And I don't know his status for Sunday's game. So we'll have to see how that goes. But should be interesting. If he's in the lineup, it'll definitely make their defense a lot better. If he's gone, that's definitely a key piece they're going to miss, which is going to be tough. But this defense for the Patriots, they're still tough. When they play as a unit, they're able to do well. Last week doesn't really speak volumes for what the defense can bring because last week, I don't know, they were just terrible last week. I mean, Flacco and Perriman were just carving up that secondary. I don't know what was going on with the Patriots defense last week, but they were awful. They don't usually play that level of defense. They usually play better, but last week, man, Thursday Night Football, they were something. But yeah, for the Steelers, what's wrong with me? I'm so focused on the other weeks. For the Patriots defense, they're going to be tough. They're going to be looking to do what they did when they were going up against us last season in terms of trying to keep Lamar contained in the pocket, try to slow down the run game, even though they didn't do it last season. They're going to look to try and do that again. And they're going to be looking at a lot of film and pointing out the consistencies we do in our offense. And since it has been clearly shown that we are running the same plays, they're going to be looking out for that in this game. It's up to Lamar and the offense to be creative. I feel like putting the offense in the hands of Lamar Jackson and just going, that's what they got to do. But we're going to have to see what the game plan is for Greg Roman. If they choose to open up the offense and let Lamar do what he does, I feel like it's going to be a great game for them, and this is going to show us what the Ravens offense can really do at this point. But if Greg Roman's going to stick to the game plan and do what he's continued to do throughout the past weeks, we're going to be in trouble in this game. So it's really up to that. If I was to give a legit game plan for what the Ravens need to do, they need to do the same thing they were doing with the Colts game. Pick up the tempo. Even if the plays are predictable, pick up the tempo. If Greg Roman's going to call the plays, you got to pick up the tempo. Because if you're able to play at a faster pace, you're going to be able to execute faster. And even if they know the play, it's going to be difficult for them to stop it. If that is what the Ravens choose to play right now, that's what they're going to have to do. I hope they just give the keys to Lamar, open up the offense, and let him do whatever he wants. But it's a good chance Greg Roman doesn't want to do that, and he's going to continue to do what he's continued doing. So we'll have to see. In terms of, we already talked about the run game, so in terms of the passing game, we got to get these receivers involved, man. Lamar has stressed this out time and time again. He wants to throw the ball more, and he wants to get his receivers involved more. That is something we need to do. We've got Hollywood Brown. We've got to get him involved more. You've got Devin Duvernay. We've got to get him involved more. You've got guys on this offense. We just got to get them more involved in the pass game. It's something that has to, at some point, it's got to work. And I think it all accumulates to this game because the next 2 games, that's your final test before the playoffs. You're not expected to lose those other games. So obviously, you have to show up and play up to that level and that standard that you've set for yourself. But these 2 teams, this is your final test before the playoffs. If our offense is not where it needs to be, we're not beating those teams. So Sunday night is the opportunity to show what this offense is capable of. And with all the criticism that Greg Roman has dealt with this week, and Lamar Jackson coming out and talking about how defenses are calling out our plays, and all these sports shows talking about the predictability of the Ravens offense, it's time to get creative. It's time to switch it up. And if that means opening up the offense and giving it to Lamar Jackson and letting him do whatever he wants, let's do it. It wouldn't hurt. So I'm interested to see how this offense is going to go Sunday night. It's going to be definitely an interesting game. Last but not least, special teams. We know what special teams brings to the table. I'm still hoping we can do something with James Prochet, see if we can get something open. Hopefully he can take it to the house. Let's get a kick return touchdown for him. And other than that, Tucker doing what Tucker does and Sam doing what Sam does. We never have to worry about special teams on this team. We never have to worry about special teams. And on most Sundays, we don't have to worry about the defense. It's always the offense that has been an issue. So special teams should be fine, but we'll see how it goes on Sunday night. Predictions for the game. How I see this going. This can go either way. If Greg Roman continues to do the same old, repeated, predictable plays he's been doing this entire season, if he chooses to bring that out Sunday night, our offense is going to struggle. We're going to have a tough time going up against the Patriots defense. And honestly, we might be able to sneak a win, but it'll probably be like a close game, like a 20-17 type game. However, if there is more creativity, if they open up the playbook, if they let Lamar Jackson go and let him do whatever he feels comfortable doing, and we open up the pass game even more and utilize our receivers, I think this could be a game where we just go off for like 35 points. I don't see it happening though because the Ravens aren't the type of team to do it. I don't see us putting up 30+ points on the Patriots defense because I don't believe they're going to open up the offense. I think Greg Roman's going to continue to do what he's been doing the entire season. That's just how I see it. But if they choose to do it that way, they choose to run the same old predictable offense, I believe we can win the game 20-17. Lamar Jackson will have a touchdown. Another touchdown will come from either Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins, and the defense will hold Cam Newton and the crew to 17 points. Maybe we win on a game-winning field goal by Tucker, or maybe Tucker gives us a field goal late to make it like a 20-10 game, and the Patriots score late and the defense closed out, or I don't know, something like that. However, if we choose to open up the playbook, we increase the pace at which we're playing on offense and executing our plays, and Lamar Jackson is able to do whatever he wants in the pass game, I feel we can win this game 35-21. I honestly believe that. If we can open up the playbook, let Lamar do what he wants, and play at a faster tempo, we can put up over 30 points. That's what this offense could be capable of if we're willing to do that. However, I don't see them doing that Sunday night. So we'll see what happens. Should be interesting. My prediction is going to be 20-17. I'm going to keep that one. I don't believe Greg Roman is willing to open up that offense and let Lamar Jackson do what he's got to do. But if he proves me wrong and he does do that, 35-21. That's my 2 predictions. Opened up offense, Lamar Jackson can do whatever he wants, and we're playing at a faster pace. 35-21 win for the Ravens, and it seems like we'll finally be getting back on track just in time to face off against the toughest stretch, or the toughest 2-game stretch that we're going to deal with, or the last toughest stretch that we're dealing with, however you want to put it. If Greg Roman continues to circle the wagon and call the same play calling he's been doing all season that has been completely found out by the defense and is completely predictable, we'll squeeze out a 20-17 win in New England, and we'll move on to the Titans game with questions about whether or not Greg Roman should still be here. We'll see what happens. It should be an interesting game. Anyway, that is all I got. I can't wait to see how this game goes Sunday night. This was a lot more of a chaotic video than I'm used to doing, but this has been a chaotic week, so I chose to just be a lot more objective a lot more objective and expressive with how I wanted to go about it. Usually, I'm more formatted with my videos in terms of how I tackle it, but since people are calling out our offense, I've got to be more open with what we got to do. So I don't know how the offense is going to look Sunday night. Nobody knows how the offense is going to look Sunday night. We're just hoping it's going to be better than what we've seen. And we're hoping to see more of what we saw in the second half of the Colts. Anyway, that's all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace. Go Ravens.